Okay, before we move on to some things that you need to know to be able to change the state of your nervous system and change pathways in your brain, I want to talk about one more thing because I think this is really important for you to know in the foundation of this course. We already talked about how the nervous system is designed for your survival and for your safety. And because of this, your brain is constantly looking for threats, scanning for threats, and logging threats. There's a couple of different ways that your brain gets this threat information. The first thing is from our past experiences. If anything's ever created like a negative emotion or negative feelings in us, a lot of times the brain will log that. Anger, fear, pain, suffering, things like that. Your nervous system will log that because it doesn't want you to ever have to experience that again. It feels like that's unsafe and it's dangerous. Another way that the brain gets this threat information is from past caregivers. Like as you're growing up, you don't know a lot about the world. You don't have a lot of knowledge. You're getting that from the people around you most of the time. Your parents, your teachers, your coaches, your pastors, anybody like that teaches you to be afraid of certain things. Those things will log in your nervous system, and your brain will scan to keep you safe from those dangers that are logged. A caregiver may do this intentionally or unintentionally. Sometimes simply what a parent is afraid of, a child will end up being afraid of. So that's another way. Things that we've seen, heard, or read. I know when I first came on the computer this morning, I clicked on my search engine. That's what it's called. And a story came up that said, I found my son dead in his room from a undiagnosed heart condition. And suddenly my nervous system wanted to log a new threat, because I didn't ever know. I've never experienced that, and I've never known anyone else who has, but now I know that that has happened out in the world. This is why news can be such a powerful medium for or against our nervous systems. So those are some ways that our brain can get this threat information. This logging of threat information creates in us a negativity bias. I kind of think of this as like a bodyguard, a celebrity or important person. They have a bodyguard or maybe several bodyguards, and their job is to go out with them in public and to consistently be scanning the environment for threats against that person. Now, the bodyguard will not go out and talk to people. They usually don't even smile at people. They aren't there to party with the celebrity or to enjoy themselves or their time there. They're very uptight, right? You see them as they're doing their job. This is kind of what we talk about, the picture that we get when we talk about our nervous system and our brain having a negativity bias. I think this is important for you to know because you might be a person who thinks, well, I'm just negative. I just see everything as a glass half empty, and that's just my personality. And it might not be your personality. It might be that you just don't have the knowledge and you haven't learned the right resources to actually challenge your negativity bias. And that's what we want to do. We want to adjust this bias. Our goal is not toxic positivity, right? Like, it's not to go from the bodyguard that barely smiles to the bodyguard who's just living it up, and not paying attention to what's going on in you or around you. Red flags are a real thing in this world today. We experience them often, right? We are in situations where suddenly it feels dangerous. Now, the level of danger is always something that we have to be aware of, but also whether our system is just telling us something is dangerous, but it's really not. When I was growing up, I experienced a lot of nervous system fight or flight. And looking back, I see in some of those situations where I had really strong fight or flight, or I had a panic attack, or I had, a season of generalized anxiety, I actually I was in danger, like I was experiencing danger, and my body was trying to tell me. But as a child, there was nothing I could do about it. Sometimes my flight, it would be telling me to get away, but as a child, I was not able to get away. I did not have permission to get away. I didn't have that agency to be able to do that. And so my body was not able to complete that expression of the flight and to get me away from danger. And so it manifests as, generalized anxiety, panic attacks, all of that, being trapped, not having resources, not having the help that I needed to deal with that danger. And so we know that those things are real, like those things we've had to deal with. But now that I'm adult, my nervous system will still tell me in certain situations that I'm trapped, that I don't have the agency, that I can't get away, that I have to act or react a certain way to be okay, to be safe. Because I'm living off of old information, my body is reacting as if I'm still in that danger that I'm no longer in, that I now have the capacity, the agency to either say no, to leave, to have a conversation about the relationship, to state boundaries, that kind of thing. And so a lot of times there is more to the story of what our bodies are telling us than we are seeing from that negative perspective that we get because of the negativity bias. Now, we change the state of our nervous system by changing our brain. We change our brain by addressing these biases. So how do we practically do that? I'm going to tell you more. So meet me in the next lesson.